All right, welcome back to Module 2, which is Dark Post Basics. And let's just go ahead and kick it right off by probably the most important question for the beginners out there at least. What exactly is a dark post? Well, to be specific, dark posts are unpublished Facebook posts that are not visible anywhere on your fan page. They are only visible in the Facebook newsfeed, and you get to hand select the exact people that see them based on their interests. Meaning, these are ads that look exactly like normal posts when people are scrolling through their newsfeed every day. And that's why the conversion rates are so high. And the best part, you don't need any likes on your fan page because your posts aren't even shown there. Now I'm going to give you an example of a light post versus a dark post so you can really start to understand the difference. On the left side, you see a normal, regular post posted by a person on their newsfeed, right? They post it on their profile, and that's how it looks when you see it on the newsfeed. On the right, you see a post that I put together. It looks exactly the same. A title, a description, a video, or a link, and a thumbnail there. It's all there, right? A light post versus a dark post. So as you can see, look how close they are. Look how similar they are. And that is exactly why dark posts are so effective. Now, there's two ways to create dark posts, two at least general ways. Number one, you've got the Facebook Ad Manager. This is the default tool that most people use to create ads. Number two, you have the Facebook Power Editor. This requires Google Chrome. It's still inside of Facebook, and it's a little bit more advanced. You get a lot more options. And don't worry, we're going to cover each one of these in depth in each of their own training modules. But for just a second, let's jump on a Facebook so I can show you the difference between each one of them. All right, so here I am on Facebook, and as you can see, I'm here in my news feed, kind of scrolling down, looking at the posts. You know, you've got pictures, you got links, you got, for instance, this is a link right here, big nice picture, different pictures here, links, stuff like that, right? So real quick, let's look to see if there's any sponsored posts, and you'll be able to tell because, for instance, right here this says sponsored. So as you can see, as I'm scrolling through my news feed, here's a post that's sponsored, and so as you look at it, generally, you can tell kind of what's done in Ads Manager, what's done in Power Editor, because Power Editor has more space. So usually, when everything's kind of short descriptions, short everything, it's usually done in Ads Manager, and when it's longer, and it's usually done in Power Editor. So as you scroll through your newsfeed, a lot of times you can't even tell the difference, right? Let's see, sponsored. So here's an example of sponsored. This clearly is done in Power Editor right here because it's got a lot more text on it and stuff like that. And then here you go. Need more traffic conversions. It's a link. And also another way to tell that something's done in Power Editor is stuff like this right here. Normally, if it's done in Ads Manager, this shows a link. In Power Editor, you're allowed to show whatever you want. So, these go to any website that you want it to go to. And they're very easy to set up, and they blend right in. Like here's an example of one that's not. If you take a look at this, this is not a sponsored post. This is a generic, just a regular shared a link. And then you go up and look. I mean, it's not much different, is it? It blends right in, right? That's the effect in it. So as you're scrolling through here, you start to see there's just so much different stuff, right? Here's another sponsored thread. Okay, here's Jack Threads sponsored post. You can see here, Jack Threads. There's the link. There's this and that. Probably done in Power Editor, just because I don't see the URL of the site that it's going to. That's usually a kind of a giveaway for the difference. But like a great example is like right underneath it is a normal link. So here's a normal link. It's got the image, it's got the link, it's got the URL, and then right above it looks exactly the same. So it's like this is why people love advertising on Facebook, because it's just so simple to blend things in. Like here's a sponsored one, real estate investing success tips, right? So here it is. This you could tell this is done in Power Editor because look at how much text that there is there, right? There's just so much text. That's kind of a giveaway for one of the different ways to do it. You can have this much text. So here's an example. You could have something that looks like this here. They got a great picture of a house, 25 ways to buy real estate with no money. It looks really good. Real estate investing success tips, right? It comes from a good page. This is a little bit kind of overboard, kind of a lot of stuff there. I'm not sure, but a little bit of social proof here. So as you start scrolling through your newsfeed, you start looking at a lot. Here's one that's not sponsored. So this is just somebody sharing this. But again, very, very similar. So you just kind of scroll through, you'll start to notice this stuff. You'll start to look through. What I challenge you to do, I challenge you to go through and look through your newsfeed as well. Here's one that's not sponsored. Now, if you wrote a post about this and used that thumbnail, you could actually do this as a page post engagement ad, and you'll learn about that in this course. And you could actually use this same thumbnail, write your own article on this, and have it be your blog, and drive a bunch of traffic there, and then capture leads and sell products, and I actually teach that in some of the topics here in this module. So here you go. Here's the one that's sponsored. Okay, so here's a real estate one that's sponsored, and you can kind of tell, it blends right in, but at the same time you see this word sponsored. Now I'm going to show you a little bit later in these modules. I'm going to show you a technique I have for being able to grab these really quickly, being able to take screenshots, being able to organize them. Those are in some of the modules as well. So just as you scroll through your newsfeed, I want you to start to look to see the ones that are links like this. I want you to see if it says sponsored or not. Like here's one that says sponsored. And I want you to start to pay attention to these. And I want you to see if see if there's good thumbnails, see if there's cool stuff. Because, and again, this one's probably done with Power Editor just based on the sheer amount of text. Ads Manager probably only lets you have about that much text. Kind of as a description right here. So that's one of the key things that'll tell you the difference between the two. So I don't need to spend all day on this. I just wanted to give you an overview. As you scroll through your newsfeed, you're going to notice that there's posts that are regular posts. Here's Ryan Ellis posting a regular post. And then there's going to be posts that are sponsored posts. Sponsored right there. Sponsored. See, you can kind of see the difference. They look very similar. Usually the sponsored is the dead giveaway for you. Now here's an example. This is not sponsored. Okay, this is somebody driving traffic to their blog. It's not sponsored, but this is another example of something that you could sponsor here as well and do well with it. So again, it's spending time scrolling through your newsfeed, learning a little bit about what's out there. Here's another sponsored one. You'll start to notice these more often now. You'll start to learn from them. You'll start to see what draws you in and what you can do with it. So take the time, make it happen. This is how you learn. This is how you get in the game. All right. So in summary, when it comes down to dark posts, look, if you're a beginner, just start with the basics. Just start using Ad Manager. If you're experienced and you feel a bit comfortable, then dive into Power Editor. And like I said before, don't worry. I'm going to walk you through both of those in detail in each of their own modules. So as you're going through this training, don't worry. You're going to learn. It's not going to happen all in one day, but you will get there. Just have confidence, have patience, and we're going to make sure we take you from beginner to expert in no time.